Do you want to make money flipping liquidation pallets on eBay? Actually, this is a very lucrative industry right now, and here are the general considerations I want you to think about when you actually think about actually flip liquidation pallets on eBay. You got to first understand that eBay actually is pretty good in terms of possibilities, but also in terms of availability of liquidation pallets all the time. Because here is a practice that actually offers a significant profit potential. And because we are speaking here about what eBay being a global marketplace, right? eBay is not just a U.S. marketplace. You have eBay in multiple countries, but it's important if you want to make money from flipping liquidation pallets on eBay. You got to really focus on market research. You got to also think about product viability and also the sourcing strategies. When I speak about product viability, you got to really make sure that you got to know your product first. Okay, there are certain products that actually you could get flipped real fast, and other products that are actually going to stay in the warehouse forever. And you really need to understand the nature of liquidation pallets and their potential for resale. Because if you are going to choose a certain category of let's say a certain category of pallets, you better really understand the demand and the supply that revolve around that pallet category. Okay, and so you also got to familiarize yourself with sourcing options like bulk.com, base stock, and direct liquidation. I mean, it doesn't matter if you are going to flip liquidation pallets on eBay or Amazon or other marketplaces. You really want to really familiarize yourself with those sourcing options, especially bulk.com. I mean, bulk.com has been around for a while now, and it's pretty reliable source, by the way. So when you think about liquidation pallets on eBay, for instance, you have to really understand that items sold by major retail stores such as Walmart, Target, etc., they are sometimes returned by the consumers for reasons such as defect, different specs, price, and or even buyer remorse. Right? This happens all the time. And the thing is that the returned products are packaged and sold in wholesale pallets or clearance sales as liquidation pallets to actually free up storage room. So liquidation pallets often contain several different items in the same category mixed in one pallet. And the thing is that they are sold in bulk, so the shipping costs actually tend to be expensive, especially if you think about it from a geography point of view. But if you are actually if you want to sell liquidation pallets, you want to sell them at a bulk discount so that you can actually offset some of the cost. And similar, actually, retailers love like they actually buy pallets at a discount and they resell them on eBay for a profit. Okay, they can resell them on Amazon. They can resell them on other marketplaces. And there are several factors. So if you are thinking about liquidation pallets that you want to sell on eBay, you got to really think about the type of liquidation pallets, the size of the pallet, and also the variety. So I want you to really remember this trifecta. Very important. So when I think about the type of liquidation pallet, I'm talking here about what you can have, for instance, mystery pallets. You can have manifested pallets. So mystery pallets, you have no idea what's inside the pallet. Manifested pallets, you really have a clear idea. It's like the difference between night and day. Okay, mystery versus manifested. And so there are, of course, benefits of flipping liquidation pallets on eBay, because what happens here is that you have the possibility to actually increase your profit margins by actually buying and selling items from liquidation pallets, right? You can actually make money on the delta between the cost and the selling price. And what happens here is that you also are able to diversify your investment. Why? Because through liquidation pallets, you are in essence gaining access to a wide variety of products in similar and different categories. That's kind of cool because you don't put all your eggs in the proverbial same basket. You are diversifying. You are making sure that you are spreading your interest in various ventures. Okay, that's kind of cool. And also you stand actually the chance. You never know. I mean, the cool thing about making money flipping liquidation pallets on eBay is that you stand a chance as you're doing research to find, for instance, rare and distinct items. You may be able to reduce your shipping costs. You never know there as well. And also, the thing is that if you are doing things yourself, you can cut out the middleman by buying from major liquidation stores online. I gave you the example earlier of bulk.com. Okay. Now, how do you actually buy liquidation pallets? Well, basically, before I talk to you about buying, you got to really do market research. You got to do product research, sourcing, buying, and also selling the products. And the thing is, you should always conduct market research to understand how competitive the market is. And product research actually is important because it helps you determine whether a certain product will be profitable, and also help you find out the best strategies so you can make money flipping pallets on eBay. So if you are thinking about making money flipping liquidation pallets on eBay, of course you got to think about the supply and demand. And when I talk about the supply, you got to ask yourself, where do I find liquidation pallets from? How can I actually source those pallets? Well, you have a lot of places. You can actually think locally, or you can think online, or you can think globally. Okay. And when you think about thinking online, you have actually a lot of websites that actually specialize in that type of work. So websites like bulk.com, I think I said this to you before, iSTOCK and Direct Liquidation, they actually allow you to preview and purchase liquidation pallets sold at bulk prices. And so that's kind of cool. But make sure that you can check to see if there are warehouses in your area where you can actually just buy liquidation stock for pallet flipping. Of course, you got to really think about the supply and demand, right? Demand actually is happening on eBay. So what kinds of prices can your customers or potential customers buy from you on eBay? So when you think about actually buying liquidation pallets, you got to really do a little bit of research, and you can start out by purchasing return pallets from other wholesaler in the area. You can also purchase from local suppliers that allow you to test the goods yourself, or even pallets in smaller sizes, until you gain a better understanding of selling liquidation pallets on eBay. See, the thing is that there is a learning curve. Now, whether or not this learning curve is steep depends on your preliminary experience. If you have a little bit of experience before, then you do not actually anticipate actually a steep learning curve. But if this is your first time to actually do this, then you might have a steep learning curve. So those are things you need to think about, especially from a scalable point of view. So when it comes to selling liquidation pallets, that's what I said before. If you want to sell them on eBay, you got to really ask yourself how much basically the potential customer is willing to buy, because the selling strategy you use on eBay will be different from your selling strategy, for instance, on Amazon or other platforms. Every platform is different, and because clients are different too. So when you think about flipping liquidation pallets on eBay, you have to really understand that you have a vast marketplace. I mean, eBay for the last 20 to 30 years has been a popular option for retailers selling liquidation pallets. And the platform actually offers a wide reach and broad marketing options, right? That's really important. And it also allows you to start selling for free. And eBay has less strict guidelines concerning selling compared to Amazon, for instance. And the cool thing is, as an eBay seller, you can either take care of the logistics or hire a company to do it for you. You are also responsible for taking product photos, listing the product in your store, marketing your store, selling the products, product packaging, and shipping. So you have a lot of possibilities there. And but again, eBay is not the only marketplace where you can actually flip liquidation pallets. I have actually talked to you a little earlier about, not earlier today, but earlier on in another video about the Amazon liquidation pallets strategy. Okay. So the thing is, if you list a clearly used product as new and a customer goes ahead to complain, your listing may be removed. That's Amazon. You can decide to choose a path similar to eBay in selling on Amazon and fulfill orders by yourself from your own warehouse. This process of fulfillment is known as fulfillment by merchant. That's how Amazon calls it, FBM. You can also choose fulfillment by Amazon or FBA, where Amazon fulfill the orders on your behalf. This means what? It means you sent your items to Amazon and they take care of the rest of the process. Okay, that's an important element. Now, in terms of making money from flipping liquidation pallets on eBay, you can expect anywhere from 30 to 40% in terms of profit. So that's kind of cool. That's a pretty healthy profit margin, especially if you are trying to get things sold real fast. And one thing I want to add also is that when you think about liquidation pallets on eBay, you have to think about also what other eBay sellers are offering, because that's going to impact the supply and demand dynamics of your pallet liquidation, like your pallet flipping business. So when you buy your first liquidation pallet to actually sell later on eBay, there are a few things that you need to really expect. I mean, this is an important element. It comes with the territory, okay? Don't try to act surprised or whatever. No, I mean, there are a few things. You'll have a few hits and a few misses, but it's part of it. The whole thing is part of the process. Since liquidation merchandise is actually a mixture of items in different conditions, chances are you will receive defective products, open box products, and sometimes brand new products. It's really the lottery, okay? It's one of those things where you have to ask yourself, what am I getting? And especially if you are going for manifested pallets versus the non-transparent one, okay? So most of the pallets that you will buy will actually contain products from returns, open boxes, clearance products, okay? You never know, like customers really are, they actually, like the whole thing is dictated by customers' preferences. And these pallets should come with an inventory list of what's inside the pallet. But it's important to keep in mind that you can't know exactly the very condition of the product in advance. I mean, there's always this element of surprise. You just never know. So the important details to note from the manifest is that you want to really pay attention to the complete itemized list of items. And also you want to have a clear idea about their average price, because the last thing you want, can you imagine? You go through a whole process. You actually go through the paperwork. You buy the liquidation pallet, only to realize that the price that you can resell at is really lower than the price you bought it at. That's a loss right there, right? So you gotta really do that research beforehand to make sure that you have a process that works in your favor. And so I was telling you a little earlier about manifested pallets versus mystery pallets or non-transparent pallets. So mystery pallets might appear to be a good bargain at first appearance, but it's not really. I don't recommend that you purchase them. Why? Because you never know what's inside. So manifested pallets show you exactly what you are purchasing and are a better option overall. So if you are a new seller, you should start by purchasing pallet locally to lower shipping costs and learn the process firsthand. And as you gain more experience, you can use liquidation websites like Bulk and Direct Liquidation to actually purchase pallets easily and stress-free. That way you have a clear idea what you're getting yourself into. And that's even better as well. So if you are thinking about making money flipping liquidation pallets on eBay, it's important to actually understand that you want to avoid neglecting product quality and the condition of items in pallets. Because the whole thing is that you have to really have a clear idea, okay? It's all about the due diligence you have to do anyway. I mean, because think about it. You are spending money, right? You are doing research. You are doing due diligence. The least you can do, like, you want to really make sure that the product quality is there, because there has to be a minimum quality for the customers to actually be interested in buying, buying from you, buying your liquidation pallets on eBay, okay? I mean, eBay users are known to be very smart. They are known to be very selective also, because see, the platform offers them a lot of choices. So they actually exercise that choice, okay? And you also want to consider the shipping cost of the pallets, because the pallets are not going to arrive at your warehouse or at your home office or whatever you want to ship them at. You're not going to be there out of the blue. Somebody has to ship them, and you might have to pay for the shipping. So you want to consider the shipping cost of the pallets when establishing your profit your profit strategy, or your profit, let's say your profit motives. Okay. One thing I want to say also is that if you want to actually prevent issues in terms of flipping liquidation pallets on eBay, you want to carefully inspect and sort items from liquidation pallets before selling them. Okay. This is part of the due diligence I was telling you a little earlier about, and you got to have that consistently. You got to really have it consistently. And you could use also tools like Zig Analytics to market and do product research. I mean, Zig Analytics is not the only player. You have a lot of tools on the market to really help you get things done a lot faster. So this is good to really think about, especially if you want to scale your liquidation pallet flipping business on eBay. If you want to really, if you want to think about going wholesale, this is a great opportunity to really have the right strategy in place. So one thing for sure, I want, a takeaway from this show is that I want you to really understand that you can make money flipping liquidation pallets on eBay. So I want you to expect a profit margin of 25 to 30%, which is pretty healthy if you were to ask me. So if you have a knack for flipping and have some liquidation pallets lying around, you may be able to turn a profit. But the thing is, you got to do the research, okay? So doing research, not just online, but also locally. I mean, check with local recycling centers and see which ones are selling pallets off their inventory. That way, you can actually see exactly what's up, because you have to always compare and contrast what you are getting in terms of demand and what the supply actually is willing to also create or generate. Okay, so those are really important to think about. And so if you have been on eBay for a while, you know your eBay customers pretty well. You know what they like. You know what kind of possibilities are there in terms of product, and this is really good to think about. So that gives you an idea, but what kind of a pallets your customers want. But it's really important also to have to look at what your competitors are selling on eBay, right? Because chances are you're not the only eBay seller actually selling pallets or flipping liquidation pallets. So you want to see what your competition is selling, and you can adapt your offer based on their pricing, based on their strategy, based on their branding also. Okay, but one thing for sure, you want to focus on 3 important things so that you can scale your liquidation pallet flipping business, if you will, on eBay. Think about the pricing, think about the quality, and most importantly, you want to think about also the quality of the products, but you want to think also about the timing. So what time of the year you are actually initiating sales of liquidation pallets on eBay. That's a really important element to think about. So here's a bottom line into this conversation. I spoke to you about how to make money flipping liquidation pallets on eBay. I give you the general considerations and now the bottom line. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.